What's up, YouTube, and welcome to my video of the games I picked up during the month of July 2017. This video is going to feel very awkward in that there's no real theme to the stuff I got this month. I didn't make any progress on any of the subsets I'm chasing or anything like that, and really I just found a bunch of random crap this month. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go over Sony systems first, and you're going to see that I bought the least PS1 games that I've bought in probably over a year in this one month. Very disappointing for PS1 finds this month, which is one of the things I primarily am collecting lately. So I got a copy of TNN Hardcore 4x4, obviously nothing special here, but it was $1, so I decided to grab it. And the only other thing I got for PS1 this month, this was a game that I thought I had, but it turned out I didn't, is the original Time Crisis. I had the second one, but for some reason I just had never bought this one. I am kind of going for the subset of all the light gun games on the PS1 in the US market, and I'm getting pretty close. I think maybe 2 or 3 more games I need, so it'd be kind of nice to knock that out. Moving over to the PS2, I got a game that's been on my list for a long time, and that is Forever Kingdom by Agetec, or From Software. This game has been going up in price quite a bit, and I just really was struggling to find one at a decent price. But one of my local stores got it in and had an okay price on it, so I decided to grab it. Looking forward to checking that one out. And then I also got 2 PS2 imports this month. I had a chance to hang out with Tom from YouTube again this month because he lives very close to me, which is cool. And we did a trade, and he hooked me up with a copy of the Japanese hamster budget Konami Classics. I don't even know what the subset's called. There's a whole bunch of these. Arcade Ortachi Gears. I'm lost. There's some subset name for this. There's about, I don't know, 10 or 15 of these, but this is the Contra release for this set. Very cool and something I did not have in my collection, so very happy to Tom for trading me this. Looking forward to checking it out soon. The other thing I got for PS2 this month was a game that I read about when it first came out and then kind of completely forgot about it, and somehow stumbled on it this last month and bought it from Amazon Japan very cheaply, and that is this game. So you're looking at the cheerful little cover here with the dog and cat on it, and this game is called Pochi to Nia, as far as I can tell. That's the best translation I can give you. And what that translates to is dog and cat. Imagine that. What this is a very frantic puzzle game by Compile. From what I understand, this is the very last game Compile developed before they went defunct. They released this on the Neo Geo, and then somehow it got a PS2 port a couple years later or whatever. Very obscure, but very cool game. It is classic Compile in the sense that you're, stacking up blocks of 3 or 4 or whatever. But this game is all about the panic mode, or whatever it is. In that the goal of the game is to fill the screen absolutely to the max, and then detonate your bombs and knock out a ton of stuff on the competitor. So it makes it very challenging because it's very stressful if you like playing puzzle games very OCD like I do, in that you try to keep the screen as clear as possible. If you want to beat this game, you have to let the screen get cluttered up, and you have to have a technique to doing it. So it's very challenging. I highly recommend this game. It was a lot of fun. It's very cheerful, cool music, that kind of thing. Very arcadey, that kind of thing. And so far, you can get this pretty cheap. I have a feeling this one might go up in the future. So there you go. My little tip for the month is Pochi to Nia. The only other thing I got for a PlayStation system this month was a PS4 game. Actually, I got this the prior month, and somehow I missed it when I did my last pickups video. And that is Tohu Genso Rondo Bullet Ballet. This game's a piece of crap. Was not impressed with this at all. Very, very just simplistic shooting action in an arena-style game, I guess you could call it. It did not capture my interest. I played it for an hour or two and just, I don't know, whatever. So I think there's another game in that series now, maybe Japan only, something like that. Maybe it's better, but was not impressed with that game. And the other thing that kind of ticked me off on this, just going on a little side tangent here, I bought this off eBay sealed, and the seller sold me this, like, I don't know if it was like a review copy or what, but it has a hole punched through the barcode, and I thought that was really annoying for a sealed game to be like that. So boo to the eBay seller that sold me that. Moving on to some Sega stuff. Again, not a very crazy month for Sega Pickups this month. I got 2 upgrades to complete games this month, and the first one of these is Vector Man 2. I did have the first one already, so nice to get another one of these. These, of course, are those paper box releases that are really hard to find in good shape, and this one's just decent, but nice to get another one of those off my list. And then the other paper box release I got is Frogger. And if you are a Genesis fan, you know this was the very last game released for the system in 1998. So that system had a very long life. Pretty much just a shovelware, you know, cash grab published by Majesco release at the last minute. But this definitely came out, and it was very late in the system's life. So kind of an interesting little side note there. Moving on to portable systems, I got this first game about a week ago, and I was very excited to find this. This is a pretty nice condition, I won't say mint, nice condition, complete in the box Castlevania adventure for the original Game Boy. If you've played this game, you know it's pretty crappy. It's probably one of the slowest moving Castlevania games you'll ever play, but really dig the box art, and nice to have that complete. I like getting Castlevania games in my set that are nice and complete in the box, so very happy to have this. I would like having the rest of the original Game Boy games complete in that series, but they're pretty hard to find, of course. The only other portable game I got this month was for the DS, and that is this game, From the Abyss. I don't really know much about this one at all. I just thought it had cool cover art, and I got it very cheap. It's an Axis game, which those are kind of hit or miss sometimes, so who knows, maybe this one's decent, but nice to get another oddball DS release for the month. Another thing I got this month was some new game hardware, and I like to show off game hardware whenever I get it. However, I'm not real proud of this one, so I got a nice complete in the box Sega 32X. Yay! I used to own one of these about 10-15 years ago. I bought it at a clearance sale, brand new, for $10 back then. I owned a few of the games. I think the best one I had was the Knuckles Chaotix, and really just lost interest in it. And it was actually a system that I sold back, which I rarely ever do. It was that uninteresting. But there's a few games on this I do want to try that I never got to play the first time around, so I want to get the Tempo, and I want to get Calibri, and maybe Zaxxon's Mother Base. I don't know. If there's anything else really on the 32X I need to get, just leave me a comment and let me know, because really I know the system is not too hot overall. But this one was in really nice shape. I got a decent price on it and couldn't really pass it up just in the condition it was in. So there you go. Now I'm a 32X owner yet again. As of right now, I don't own any games on it, so I can't even play it. But yeah, I got the hardware at least, so that's a start. Another oddball piece of hardware, which is an accessory I picked up this month, was the Trackball controller for the 2600. Not exactly the smoothest trackball, as you can tell. Probably a little dirty in there. This is a first-party controller. There's a few variants of it, and it's my understanding this is one of the rarer variants of this controller. My also understanding is it's not very good because the Atari wasn't really programmed for analog control. So, yeah, it's a thing, and it takes up space, and it'll just be more clutter in my collection. So, that's a thing also. So really, that was going to be about it for this month, which is a admittedly very disappointing month of pickups. However, I rallied very late in the month. I got a great day of pickups today in that a local store was selling a whole bunch of complete-in-the-box NES games at regular cartridge prices. So these, of course, are games I already had the cartridges of, but I was able to upgrade to complete copies for the vast majority of these. So very happy to get a nice stack of NES stuff. So let me go through all these that I got. That are all complete in the box. First one of these, and this is the one I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of, is Astanaix. I've heard it called about a million different things. Let's just call it Average Game by Jalico. That's probably a better way to think of this game, but kind of funny box art there with the little cheesy dude wearing his A on his chest. Like a little medieval dork. It's kind of funny. Next one is more interesting. This is Abba Docs. This is a shooter that comes in this horrendously bad packaging. Published by Milton Bradley, which is not a sign of quality. However, this game is actually developed by Natsume, and it is a decent shooter for the NES, despite the hideous packaging. So, nice to get that one. Another one that I know a little better from the arcade is POW, or Prisoners of War. Good port of the SNK arcade game. It doesn't have the full arcade experience, but it's decent. I also like that it has the arcade cabinet on the back of the box prominently. Like, this is really what you're going to get to play at home, even though it isn't. So, nice one to get there. Another one here that has cool box art, but it's a pretty crappy game, is Swords and Serpents. It's one of the 10 or so 4-player games on the NES, but I really can't imagine 4 people wanting to suffer through this. So, nice to get that one, at least just as an oddity. I got an unlicensed game, and that is Pyramid. This is a pretty simplistic little puzzle game. It's not terrible compared to some of the ones that American Video Entertainment put out. I also like the text on the backs of the boxes in the shape of a pyramid. Wow, that's pretty impressive for its time. Another one I got that is pretty obscure is Galaxy 5000. This is a isometric racing game. It's not terrible. I've had this one, cartridge for a long time, but this is the first time having this complete. It also came with the giant poster for the game. It's pretty neat looking too. Seems like the posters are one of the hardest things to find for NES games. Another oddball game I got is Darkman. A game based on the crappy movie, released by the bad publisher Ocean. If you see games published by Ocean from this era, you should probably run far away, and this one's really no exception to that, but it is a little bit difficult to find in the box, so nice to get that. Another one that is one of my series that I kind of like, that I never had this one complete, is Gauntlet To. And if you'll notice, the upgrade of Gauntlet 2 over Gauntlet is it does support the 4-player adapter as well. So whoever owned these games probably had a NES Satellite or 4-score and actually liked playing 4-player games. So kind of interesting little tidbit there. But I do like that game okay, even though it's just repetitive Gauntlet as always. I got Tiny Toon Adventures Part 2. This one came with like all the inserts and flyers and warranty cards and all kinds of stuff. This one was in really nice shape. I wish some of the other ones were as nice as that one is. Probably the rarest of all these games that I found complete, and this was by far the best deal of any of these as well, is this game, Alfred Chicken. This is not a great game. However, it is a very rare late release for the system. You hardly ever see this game complete, and it is in top-notch condition. So very happy to have this in this kind of condition, since it is one of those super late releases on the NES. I think this game came out in '94. It wasn't 94, it was late 93, but definitely winding down the system at that point. Probably one of the last 10 or 20 releases that came out for it, so that's why it's so rare. The box does advertise a poster that was inside the box. It was missing that, unfortunately, but had the manual and everything else. And then the last one of these I actually got a couple days ago. This wasn't part of the same deal, but this one also is a pretty interesting one. This is Metal Fighter, and this is one of the Color Dreams games that is a shooter. It also is notable because Color Dreams themselves did not develop this game, which is a good thing. This was developed by some tiny publisher, maybe Taiwanese or Chinese or something like that, named Joy Van. It's okay. I actually was playing it the other day. It has some nice features like parallax scrolling and a really robust power-up system that's trying to do a lot of special things. It also has some annoying features like once you lose your power-ups, you actually can't even fly. You have to pick up a power-up to even be able to fly, and the game's pretty unplayable without it. It is really oddball in nature. I don't know, is the best way to describe it. Music is absolutely awful, but if you want a Color Dreams game that is somewhat playable and you like the shooters, as I do, this one is not the worst one you could play. So, nice to get one of those, and kind of cool box art on that one too. So that about wraps it up. I've got one other thing I wanted to show you. A couple of this month that I got from Tom, again, part of our trade. He gave me a stack of PSM magazines, and these are all kind of from the glory years of the PS1, from like around 99 and 2000. Just kind of flip through a few of these so you can see them. I don't know if I have time to show them all. Some of these were like much newer than the other ones, but for the most part, most of them are like that kind of golden era of the PS1. So yeah, got a whole stack of these, which is really cool. I love vintage game magazines. I actually built a new bookshelf this month to hold a lot more game magazines than what I had on display already, which is a dangerous thing because that means now I'm going to start hoarding these even more, so now that I got the space for them. But always happy to get more game magazines. Thanks again to Tom for trading me the game and all those. It was fun to read through those. That's really about it. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully I'll have more stuff to show off next month because I know this month was kind of light. Thank you for watching. Please take a moment, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day or night, wherever you are.